Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Healing Channel, where healing is not a momentary process, it's a journey. Today, I want to talk about a popular topic. However, I want to take a different angle on it. I want to bring some insight and detail into it that I feel like a lot of us omit or we don't pay attention to. I want to talk about celebrities and their children. When it comes to children, we don't look at their emotional well-being as much as we should. They're children. And when it comes to rich people, they say, hey, you have money, or we say, hey, you have money, so what are you complaining about? What's there to cry about? We don't have money, you do. So in this episode, Validation and Healing Part 2, I want to touch more on the parents that have money and the children, the child stars that have money, and the parents that should be protecting and looking out for their well-being. Does money heal? Does money change people? Who holds the power? Why do we seek their validation? And is there anything that they can do or say that will make us or influence us on our decisions to give them that validating platform? Will we snatch it from them if we see fit? You tell me. Healing is not a momentary process, it's a journey. Okay, so let's dive right on in. I want to talk about the celebrity men that have multiple kids by multiple women. And it's not a problem of them having multiple kids by multiple women. Do what you feel like you need to do. My issue is when the ages are overlapping or when they're close in age and they have these different mothers. From the way we look at it, the mother's always going to be there because they're going to be the ones sitting there with the kid while the dad go make some money and do the different things they do as a celebrity to be able to financially support the child. But what about the child's emotional well-being? NBA Young has like 10 to 12 kids with like 6 or 7 or more different women. Nick Cannon, he has 12 kids, I believe, from like 6 different mothers. And again, the ages are overlapping. So it's not the amount of kids they have, because have a multitude of kids. We did it generations ago they had so many kids. But when they're not being raised in the same household, it presents a problem. It's not to knock them, but it's to delve deeper into the psyche of these kids and emotional stability and well-being. Brian McKnight, his 2 oldest sons, they're very estranged. I don't even think they talk anymore. And Brian McKnight like had another son and changed his name or named his son after him, or he named himself after his son. I don't know. It's weird. And again, he just had 2 sons. And again, it's not to judge his parenting, but when you're putting so much into your fame, understandably, your kids are going to suffer in one way or another. And they're going to suffer from not having you around, or not being able to have you at some of their experiences, the attention, the support. There are going to be differences between boys and girls. Some of them are going to have events on the same days that you're not going to be able to make. You can have all the family gatherings you want, but you can't be everywhere all at the same time. And it may not affect them as children. When they're super young, it may not affect them. All they need is a little love, some candy, a few gifts. But as they get older, when they become preteens, teenagers, and young adults, when they start looking at things differently, it's going to play a role. And that's my point. It's not about how many kids you have, but it's about spreading yourself thin. And are you able to spread yourself thin? Sure, you can spread your money thin. Can you spread yourself thin? So I want to know what you think about this. Yeah, some kids are act entitled, some of them are out of pocket, but I believe that it's a child by child, situation by situation basis. And at the end of the day, it's going to be the parents that won't be able to compensate. I know that no matter what we do as parents, we're going to fall through the loopholes of becoming a perfect parent, because there's no perfect parents. No one's perfect. But when you make choices that are going to affect children later that you didn't think about, that's the point that I want to bring up. I want us to think about it. Again, it's no right or wrong in any of this. But when the kids are complaining when they're older, do you have the time to invest in their young and adult emotional issues? Will you be there in the tough times and validate their concerns and hard truths that we may not have seen or they see as they're toggling trying to become adults themselves? Will we be present and emotional available for them as they need? We can ask some of those who have, the more financial status and who makes the decisions. We can ask some of those who have twins and more, but does financial status make it better or okay to make these decisions? As a parent of 3 adult children, I have had to listen to, receive, interpret, show compassion and understanding to things that I didn't know or things I didn't see from their perspective. Some I could relate to and some I couldn't. But my love and my interest in breaking generational trauma and issues is why I sit, listen, share, and grow with them. Now, this last one, phew, to be continued on that one. The verdict is out. Life doesn't have to be complicated. If you're missing somebody, call them. You want to meet up? Invite. Want to be understood? Explain. If you have questions, ask. Don't like something? You can say it. If you like something, you can state it. Want something? Just ask for it. Love someone? Please, by all means, tell them. Keep your life simple. Remove the toxic energy. Pull in the positive energy. You are in control. I want to now talk about the child stars whom should be watched and protected by their parents. With the release of all the information on Nickelodeon, their inappropriate messages, not rated for children, yet performed by children, and the things and people they were exposed to and asked to do, not to mention SA, where the fuck were their parents at? Children with money are still children. And when the producer, acting coach, and others are able to drive a wedge between parent and child, the protection dwindles. They are left as bait for sharks, or the adults are complicit for the money. It's sad that children are so neglected in so many ways. We say that they have nothing to complain about. They haven't lived long enough. Depression over what? Over so much. Working in the school district and all the issues that children have dealt with, I've learned to listen. I've learned to not be on a pedestal and let them know that I understand them from a relatable standpoint and that they mean something and their words, their pain is being heard. They are bullied, harassed, they go unheard, unable to positively transition from a child to a teenager and then young adult, where they then think and look back on stuff that breaks them. How can a child report SA and then be blamed for it? Well, it happens. You don't even have to be rich for parents to invalidate claims of children. We keep it in the family to never deal with it. Imagine the now adults that have never told their stories because of the shame and guilt they feel. Sit on that. Self blame is real. Some hide it because they think they are protecting others while being subjected to mental and physical abuse. We need to give our children a safe space to be heard. We need to listen. No, they shouldn't always have to shut up because adults are talking. They seek to be validated, and when they don't get it at home or from the comfort of those who vow to love them, they will seek it elsewhere. Often, they will be seeking it all or most of their lives. So, does money heal? Does money change people? Who holds the power? Oftentimes, it is determined by what we are seeking, how bad we want it, and who may have the authority or power to give it to us. Why do we seek their validation? Because often it's love we are seeking from them. Is there anything they can do or not do that influences our decision to give them this validating platform? Yes. If we grow to a point of understanding our connection to them and we are able to weigh the pros and cons, which sometimes can take years, if ever. Attachment is real. And if they don't do enough harm or we don't see a way out, it can last forever. But what do I know? You tell me. Healing is about self, walking a path of understanding and committing to harsh truths and realities that we learn along the way. Healing doesn't happen overnight. Join me on the Healing Channel, where we have open conversations and discussions about things that make us more in harmony with self, our deeper, unfiltered, and unaware self. Yeah, that's a lot to take in, but we have to do better by our children who become us as adults. Adults are very selfish, self centered, and fail to see the error in our ways. We can't handle constructive criticism and hard truths. We act as children and get upset for them being just that. We value our wants and needs over theirs. We have women who hate their daughters and men who hate their sons. We have women who degrade our sons for looking like and acting like their fathers, and men doing the same to girls. Men talk down on and despise women and then say, but they are different with their daughters. It's fucking sad. Men seek validation from other men, even at the expense of being truly happy. Let that shit sink in if you're being honest with yourself. It's a war, and we're all involved whether we want to be or not. Women can't stand the sight of other women for no other reason than competition that's all in the mind. Calling each other ugly and degrading each other on skin tone and small inconsistencies in our looks and in our shape and stuff, all because we feel fucking insecure ourselves. Like why? I understand the joke, but to tear somebody down just because, you know how many times I've been called a fucking man? When I joined the military, going into basic training, one of the first things I was told is I was a hermaphrodite and a fucking he-she by my drill sergeants, man and woman. Ridiculous. Why? Because I was beating the shit out of other platoons and pugils and combatives. Sick. Did it hurt me? No, because I was used to it. I had been called something like that all my damn life for being an athlete. It didn't hurt me. You're giving me the most powerful names and you think you're hurting me? No. But it's a shame that we do that. It's a shame. I can't. I can't. I don't know. You want to add your input or feedback? You can share your responses or any of your thoughts by commenting on my YouTube channel under this episode, or feel free to email me at forevercreationsllc@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous if you like. You may find your questions or scenarios on the episode of the Healing Channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for exclusive content like full interviews and poems, and where, if you leave feedback, you can get responses. Like and share. You never know. This may reach who it needs to. Until next time, I'll end it with a piece by Forever Creations titled Construct. See you next Thursday for another psych. I'm on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm going to be in South Korea visiting my adult son. So give me 2 weeks and I'll be back after a little rest. And then I'll see you for another edition of the Healing Channel, where healing is not a momentary process. It's a journey. Sag Mom out. Peace. Even through the rainstorm, I'm fully committed until I can say I did it. I'm legit with this shit until you feel it. My mind's on a constant brainstorm. That's how I stay charged up and my thoughts keep warm. I be up late nights, hands trembling, night sweats and cover fights. I fuck it. Period. So when I'm inking, I bleed right. I barely get sleep. PTSD, I'm uptight, cause when the pain hits hard, the only way to recharge is to bust out at least 16 bars. But I go deep and take you far. Those first 16 was just the start. My pen sick, no diss. I go in, big spit. I forgot about technology. Excuse me. I type it. Post it to my source, find out who can relate the most. Down in bottles to bottle up my emotions. Wet my face so the tears ain't showing. Taking long rides to keep my thoughts a coasting. Real life is a mixture of the shit we take and what the fuck we ain't gonna let happen. I be daytime napping, trapping pieces, missing fractions, parts of a whole waiting to unfold. Because when night hits, I'm back on this fix. Weirdo with the clear flow, living in a rainstorm until my thoughts form. So rain on until the pain's gone. Rain on my mental state. Rain on is how I carry on. Carry on. Construct.